Hey PlayStation Universe, this is Senior Editor Kyle Prawl and
Senior Editor Ernest Lin.
We're actually back from E3 2014, but we still have plenty to talk to you about, plenty to excite you for what's ahead in PlayStation, give you some of our thoughts on the things we've seen. So, we're hitting you with the big one. Ernest here got his hands, or rather his face and eyes and all of this stuff, on Project Morpheus, Sony's much awaited, much anticipated virtual reality headset. So Ernest, talk me through it. What did you see? What was the demo? What was happening?
So, it's been a long time since something in gaming has blown my mind, and this is definitely one of them.
This was it.
Yeah, this was it. Granted, this is my first experience with any sort of virtual reality headset, but putting it on and, you know, with the sound, noise-canceling headphones they had, just stepped into another world,
right.
Really.
So were the headphones a critical part of the unit, or you know, were they kind of intrinsic to the unit, or was it kind of a separate thing that's like, this is the sound?
Right now, it's a separate thing.
Okay.
I wonder in the future if they'll have a specific set of headphones included,
kind of
or they'll let the consumer choose
sure.
if they want, you know, a certain, you know, the headphones that they use and love right now.
Integrated solution.
Yep.
So you step into the booth, and this is at Sony's booth at E3 2014. They have the huge Project Morpheus kind of like cave almost on the side, right?
Right. It was
so,
like
so did the attendant have to kind of like set you up with it? What was that kind of experience like, kind of jumping in for the first time?
So setup was pretty easy, but
okay.
you know, since this was my first time, they definitely had the attendant there. What he did was first put on the headset and then sort of adjusted it. It's kind of like being at the eye doctor. He said, "Oh, is it in focus?" And there's a little bit of a sweet spot that you have to hit, since this is a 3D imagery that's it's using.
Is that a sweet spot of placement on your head, or are you actually talking about like a focus?
It's a focus sweet spot.
So
yeah. So it's a focus sweet spot.
Something that everyone, when it releases, something that everyone will kind of change on their own and sort of fiddle with to match their own eyesight. Okay.
I know that the very first configurations he used weren't really working for me, and then he was like, "Oh, well, you know, you have glasses, so let me you know, switch this and move this up a little bit there," and then stuff came into focus.
Okay.
And then after that, he placed the headphones, and then handed me each the Move controllers, which are what you use, at least for this particular tech demo, which was the medieval sort of, you know, knight demo. That
boxing match. I think it's called the Castle, right?
The Castle?
From the Sony conference. Yeah. So I remember I saw it a little bit on Jimmy Fallon the night before kind of E3 week kicked off. So the same kind of thing, like a boxing match with like dummy targets?
Yep, so you had a dummy that was in a suit of armor. You start with just a boxing match and knocking off each of the pieces of armor. Then after that, you look to the left and there's some swords there, so you can grab the swords, one, or you can grab both of them.
Just straight up, you like just pull it off the rack? Like,
Yep, just pull it off the rack. So you kind of reach over, you know, hit the trigger. It's kind of like you're grasping it, and then it recognizes it, and then you're able to swing. Very responsive. You know, these are the Move controllers, so responsive one motion. You know, after that, then we had the bow and arrow.
Yep.
And that was a blast to be able to really, and the accuracy was astounding because you could look down the sights, and you know, just hit all these targets all over the place.
Now I'm wondering, so I got two things for you, right?
Okay.
The first thing was, so going off of that, you're looking down the sights of the bow. I remember from demoing Oculus Rift last year that what astounded me most is that you could actually twist your head, like if I'm in a cockpit of a ship and I twist my neck to one side, my view is doing that in the game, and I can like look underneath a seat, like a physical kind of seat that I'm sitting on. Like that's what really immersed me into feeling like I'm in a different space. So when you're holding that bow and arrow, I mean, can you actually like shift your hand and like the view along the bow's axis, you know, improve it like that? Like all that kind of stuff, it's like a thing that you can...
Yup. So initially when I was shooting it, I wasn't looking down the sights correctly at all.
Oh, right.
So I had to sort of position it, and then...
you just like straight up actually like kind of brought this virtual bow up to your eye in real-time space.
Yep.
Second thing, the dragon. I know I remember the Fallon demo. The dragon comes down. What's that like?
That was a huge surprise to me. You know, it lands, I just see this big mass in front of me. The attendant says, "Oh, you know, look up." I look up, and I kind of like jerk back. I was like, "Whoa, that's a huge dragon!" And the dragon's just, you know, just growling at me, and then comes down and chomps me to bits.
So is Project Morpheus the next big step that Sony wants it to be?
I think so.
Okay.
It is definitely the next level of immersion. One of my favorite things to do while I had the headset on was just looking around. Just turning around and looking behind me to the sides, which I think some of the other people demoing it kind of missed, because that's really what this brings to the table is more being able to quickly view everything that's around your character.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you walked away impressed.
Yes, very impressed.
Don't suppose they told you when we're gonna see it a little more tangibly?
No details on
so.
Release dates. Anything about the price either. But
sweet.
Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Well, I'm looking forward to Project Morpheus. Ernest is looking forward to Project Morpheus.
You all should be.
And if you want to know more about Project Morpheus in the coming weeks, months, and probably even years, keep it at PlayStation Universe, and stay tuned for more of the stuff that we're bringing to you from what we saw at E3, even though you thought E3 was over. It's not quite yet.
Yep. So. We'll have plenty of previews and additional videos going up in the next coming days.
Thanks for watching.